Hello.
Welcome to her channel.
As you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be responding to the comments on Tyler's Declutter series. This was an idea you had back during Vlogmas. I think you thought of it during December, this past December. And I thought it was a really, really good idea. It was a pretty successful series, I would say.
We didn't finish it.
We didn't finish it. That's the main problem. We didn't finish it.
Actual life got in the way.
Yes, life got in the way, so that's fine. But it's probably my longest series in terms of how long I was able to do it and how many videos are in it. So if you haven't checked it out and you're interested in decluttering, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. But I'm just gonna go in order of videos posted in chronological order and just go through the comments, and just so you know, the comments are gonna be on the screen.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Are you gonna blur the people? You're like, oh, that person made that comment.
I mean, should I?
I don't know, if you want people to get added.
So from the Massive KonMari House Declutter intro video, here we go. Some of these, I'm just gonna read them. If you don't have anything to say, that's fine. Or it could just, there are a lot of comments, so we'll try to be brief. But, okay, this first one I think is kind of funny. I'm happy you and Jody seem to be friends.
I don't know who Jody is.
I don't know who Jody is either.
I think she misinterpreted Abby's name.
I think she means Abby.
Yeah, Abby is my ex-wife.
Yes, but I think that's funny. You and Jody seem to be friends. How can I follow Abby? She is Hugh's Family Fun on Instagram.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. I will leave that link down below.
She also has a website that is on, it's Hugh's Family Fun. I think you have to put in the .wordpress.com, but
I'll find it and I'll link it down below.
Yeah, she has a lot of frugal living stuff, and she has I actually have bookmarked her roasting vegetables page.
There you go.
It's got timing for roasting vegetables.
Haha, this is delightful. Real families with real decluttering. Gasp. I think I got a couple comments like that where it's like, it's not like we pre-cleaned or pre-decluttered to film it. It was like, no, this is what it looks like and this is real life. Yeah. So cool. This is your boyfriend? Is he married? Is that what, do you really want to put that, do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Oh, wow.
So Abby and I are in the process of divorcing. We're separated, but because of a myriad of reasons, COVID being one of them, the second being that we're a one-income family, but when the divorce is all settled and we can cohabitate and then get married, that'll be good.
So that's it for that intro video. Let's go to the clothing declutter. I'm excited for this one because
I'm not.
I need to apologize. So we'll get to that though. Yeah, I need to apologize to Tyler, and I already have in private, but I'm gonna do it here too. But the first one is he stays at home with his ex.
Yeah, we're actually quite chill with one another. That's the other part of this. Like, Abby and I, okay, not to dive too deep into...
You're getting really deep into this.
Yeah, we realized, you know, never mind. We're not gonna discuss this. We're chill.
If you want a video like about our relationship,
I don't think they need that. Do you think you need that?
If you want it, then this video needs to get
real.
Well, let's see. How many likes I don't even know how many likes an average video of mine gets.
No, it needs 10,000 likes.
10,000?
10,000
This isn't
likes.
gonna get 10,000. It's not gonna get 1,000
It's gotta get 10,000 views.
It's not gonna
and 10,000 likes, and then we'll go into our relationship.
It's not gonna get that
Like
many.
and subscribe.
Oh my god.
Share with your friends. Hey, force them to emotional honesty.
Like a full-on, totally open, honest, no holds barred, or very few holds
There's some
barred.
bars. There's some bars that are going to be held.
There would probably be some bars. Yeah. But, like, I mean, you heard the man.
Hey, you got some work to do, internets.
Okay, so
Mary
we're not going to
Thomas
go.
alone.
We're not going to go too deep into it. I might even edit out a lot of what you just said.
You really should.
Before. And then hope all that things went to charity. If it was donatable, it got donated. If it was falling apart or, you know.
Yeah.
I think most of it got donated. Unless it was clothing that was just like, I don't know, no one's going to want an old sweat-stained white t-shirt. Number 1, this video was extremely funny and satisfying to watch. I've watched nearly every KonMari video on YouTube. This one was up there. Definitely gave a thumbs up. 2, it felt like you were being a little harsh/controlling, but I quickly realized he needs that person in his life, but he should be allowed to hand his belongings off to others, especially if they want it. Also, I hope by discard you meant donate. And 3, Tyler, watching you suffer was hilarious. I sympathize with you, but trust me, this is for your own good. I think this might have been
that's what every proctological exam starts with.
I think this comment was the inspiration for this video. So, number 1, so glad that you enjoyed the video. Number 2, it's interesting because it starts off like yes, I was being harsh and controlling. I actually totally agree that I was being really harsh in a lot of this video in particular. And there are aspects of the clothing declutter that I didn't really realize were related to how hard it was gonna be for Tyler until I started my ED recovery and learning more about fat phobia and body positivity and all of that. My mind has been completely opened to what people go through and what Tyler's gone through in his life. And I was actually a total asshole in the clothing declutter video. I was really harsh and insensitive, I think, during a lot of it, and I'm really sorry for that. I'm sorry, and I've told you I'm sorry for that.
I appreciate that.
And I would.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was really amazing. Yeah, that's getting cut.
When you say that stuff over what I'm saying, though, it makes it so much harder to edit.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I think it comes up later in other comments because other people mentioned it, but I'm just gonna, because it came up now, I'm saying it now, that I know more than what I did before, and if we were to do another clothing declutter, I would handle it very differently. And then, yeah, he should be allowed to hand his belongings off to others. I was being really strict in those moments because I truly believe that just passing it off to someone who doesn't want it, or who didn't go into it looking for something. I feel like you could tell people, hey, I'm decluttering my clothes. Is there anything that anyone might want? So I can see if I'm decluttering something that you might want or that might need. Because usually people go, oh, you're getting rid of that? Yeah, like I'll take it, or, you know, so then they have that clutter that they have to then deal with. Maybe it might be something they need or want, but more often than not, I think it's not something that they need or want.
15 years ago, a dear friend of my family's passed away, and he and I were roughly the same size. And so my mom and dad packed up 3 giant boxes of his clothing and sent it to me across the country. And after decluttering, I still have 2 shirts. Like, I threw away his tail. He was a conductor, so I had all of these performance tails, and just, I mean...
Were they good stories?
Haha. I don't think he'd ever dry clean them. Wow. They could have stood up on their own.
So you're saying that you got several boxes of hand-me-downs?
Yes, that I ended up throwing away
in that
almost
declutter?
everything.
In that declutter that we did?
No, years ago.
Oh, before. And you kept 2 things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
And I still wear those 2 shirts.
But there you go.
Yeah.
But you had to go through the process of going through it and trying
to... I understand don't just lay your clutter at someone else's feet.
Yeah. And then, yes, we did donate, and that's what we meant by discard. KonMari uses discard. That's just her...
And my kids have started, now that they're getting a little bigger, they're wearing a lot of daddy shirts as their sleepy clothes.
And then, yeah, watching you suffer was hilarious. Trust me, this is for your own good. Do you feel like it was for your own good?
Yeah. I have less in my closet now, and I know that I'm funny when I'm in pain.
Okay. How many neckties does one need, my friend Tyler?
All of them.
hopefully you will go back and remove some more of them along with the reorganized kitchen clutter.
I bought more. I got this comment and I got 3 more bow ties and 6 more neckties just because of this comment.
Well, and then during COVID, I've seen you wear ties probably less than 10 times throughout the past
It's been really rare.
Year. So
Margaret comes to me and is like, Daddy, can I pick your bow tie? Why?
You should have worn one today for the video. Although, did I not tell you until today that we were doing this?
Yeah.
Anyway, to Tyler. Oh, this one's a long one. I understand what it means to work hard to lose weight, and I understand what it means to feel ashamed you've gained it back. But as I recently heard someone say, my weight is the least interesting thing about me. And I think that is so true of you. Even with just the little bit we see here, your co-parenting abilities, your style, your personality, your careers, your relationships, those things are much more than your weight. So I hope you can focus on the weight gain for not too long and then realize it's okay. You're doing a great job decluttering. Keep it up.
That's very kind. That's very kind. And it's something you've said to me a lot, and accepting my body, and I work at it. It's a struggle. It is a struggle. I have Oprah'd many times.
I would love to do a video talking about this stuff when you feel like you ever want to.
So on my deathbed.
Okay. I'm a professional organizer and I have most of my clients do the KonMari method. There are a few things I will recommend first. First, he has to make the decision. Forcing him to get rid of more will make this process much harder and will cause resentment. Do you resent me?
No.
This is why I never recommend wives, girlfriends, family to be a part of this. Having a neutral party there makes things so much easier. As far as the skinny clothes, they are your past, and when you gain the weight, get the weight off.
Just chill. It's okay. It's okay. And I probably voiced a desire to be skinnier in the video.
Okay. Sorry, my diet culture hackles are up at that part. Blah, 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 blah. Having everything in your closet fit is such a game changer. That I do agree with. I feel like everything in your closet should fit you at the current size of your body.
Yes. And
not having any more aspirational clothes. One question I'm a bit confused about, Tyler and his 2 kids live in the home. You're his girlfriend, who's the other lady? So we've already talked about that. Mary Thomas, I sympathize with you, Tyler. At the end of this process, you will cry at how much better you feel. This horrible day will be, he doesn't cry very much, but I think you like.
No, I appreciate the sentiment though, Mary.
Will be a distant memory. I've been down this road as well. I am now a daily declutterer. Nothing gets past me. It is so freeing. Being happier in my own skin is easier. Having clothes that aren't having conversations, shaming ones with me is so nice. Trust the process. Trust your amazing guides and support system. Let it go, let it go. Yeah.
Let it go.
I love the daily decluttering because I know exactly what you mean. It's not like a daily massive declutter. It's just being so intentional about what comes into your home. And just looking around and being like, this piece of mail, I read it, I don't need it, get rid of it. That's decluttering. Yeah. I do that all the time.
For a good daily declutter, you should eat more fiber though.
That's good. And then Mary continued, love the mid-video shirt change, and then...
Do any of you know where that video, or where that shirt came from?
Comment down below if you do.
Yeah.
I'm going to refrain from giggling at Tyler's face in the thumbnail because I respect where he is in the process. You go, Glen Coco. So that's it for the clothing declutter video. Let's do the book declutter. First one, what bookshelves are you using?
I got them at Lowe's.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful job of using the Marie Kondo and inspiring me. However, I really did have a criticism. I completely disagree that sleeping books don't inspire. Some people have entire libraries in their home. Tyler clearly derives joy from books on the shelf. I get the tidy thing, but if the books are kept clean, why limit him to the 1 in 2 out? Obviously won't work at a certain point because he's clearly keeping all the drama book / plays. I guess you all just don't have space. But one idea is better shelving high up along the ceiling for reference books. That's true. The other is, I think, in the spirit of what sparks joy, sometimes the MK method just has its limitations. What about collectors? Would you ask Jay Leno to Marie Kondo his cars?
Yes.
I forgot to put a heart on this one. Yeah, you know what? That's another thing. I think because I think the book declutter was my least favorite to be a part of.
It was you didn't break me.
It was so it was countertransference therapy term that I've learned. I was personally overwhelmed by how many books you had. And yes, you did get rid of quite a few,
but proportionately.
But
on a percentage basis,
and
nothing happened.
It's been now a year, and the amount of reading I've seen you do is not, and I'm sounding so judgmental. I'm aware of that. I sound extremely judgmental.
And I've bought more books.
However.
But they're plays, so, you know, that's for work.
They're plays, and you're reading the plays. It's not that, it's the novels I'll read someday.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Okay, so where my desk is now, I actually look to my left and I see all my philosophy books. And the last time I cracked open, I don't know, Aristotle's Poetics, I am fairly certain George W. Bush was president.
So I think what you're saying is kind of connecting to what I'm about to say, which is when we do this declutter again, which we've talked about doing before we move in together, I think you'll find that you'll just naturally get rid of more books. And because I am gonna approach another declutter series a lot differently. I'm not gonna be as harsh. I'm not gonna be as controlling about it, and I'm just gonna let it be. Because I've also been through this process at least 2 times. And I know that the first time I didn't get rid of as many things as I did the second time, because I thought I held on to these things for some fear or anxiety of not having them, but now I've had them and I didn't need them for a year or 2 years and then gotten rid of them. So I think you'll just run into that.
Yeah, and I would love, what is her name?
Yelba.
Yelba. I would love a large library. That's hashtag life goals. I love books. There's a Japanese word, and I don't remember it, but it's the joy of just owning a book. It's not necessarily reading it, which I know, messed up, but I love having knowledge around me and accessible at my fingertips. Yes, I understand I have the entire internet at my phone, but whatever. I just really enjoy the process of having books and curating a library. But I also understand it's overwhelming to you.
And we're gonna move it. We're gonna live together someday.
And we're gonna commingle that
and we're not
universe.
Gonna be able to afford a place where it's large enough to disperse everything. So, but we still have we have like a year and a half before this happens.
And there are certain things that we know I never have to get rid of. My art books, my drama books. I've
seen you use. I've seen inspire you.
That's a constant. That's a constant. And maybe I can get rid of some of my statistical breakdowns of the 1964 election.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. During our answer to that last one, I actually realized for ease of editing for myself and to keep this video like 30 minutes or less, we're not going to do all the videos. So depending on your response to this video, if you guys like it, then we can respond to the comments on the other videos.
I see you heart Slytherin. Yes, I do heart Slytherin.
No. I see you Slytherin.
Heart.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like I see you love Slytherin, heart Slytherin.
No. Yes.
I see you Slytherin.
Yes. I am a Slytherin. Margaret is a Slytherin. Abigail and Heather are Ravenclaws. Guess I got a thing for Ravenclaws. And Henry is the most puffiest of puffs I've ever known.
I have around 100 books to be read, so I got the struggle. I thought I would read more during lockdown, but my mental health decided otherwise. However, I'm slowly getting back to reading and get around 10 books off the pile. That's amazing.
That's great.
That's 10%.
I have one book. Right? Yes. I have one book that I've been working on through almost all of lockdown. It's Twyla Tharp's The Creative Habit, and it's tough for me to work through, but it's an amazing book.
Yeah. One of the biggest eye-opening moments I had regarding my books was after years of tracking my reading habits with Goodreads, I could tell you based on assumed average lifespan how many books I was likely going to read in the rest of my lifetime.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a huge motivator in my rethinking what books I wanted to read, keep to be reread, and also pushed me to use the library more often versus buying, especially for fiction and less rare history books. I started this year with just over 500, which might be about half of what I had from 10 years ago thanks to previous declutters, and I've already decluttered another 50 this year with the aim to maybe read/declutter 20 to 30 more. What I see now in my shelves and in my to be read pile is so much light and freeing and way more motivating and enjoyable. I forgot to heart that. Yes. The weightlessness. I remember at some point, I think it was 2019, I had a box of to be read.
Was this where we walked down to?
Yeah, we had so many books, and it was like, what, $200 worth of credit at that store that I got. Books that I had bought from when I was really active on my BookTube channel, and I was just reading a certain type of book. I had a lot of time to read. I was reading so much, and I moved that box from Maryland to Folsom when we moved across the country. I was in Folsom briefly, moved down to Chula Vista, so that's 2 moves, from Chula Vista to Ocean Beach, and then to the apartment I was at briefly with my ex to this apartment. 5 times in like 2 years. And when I was here, I thought, I either am gonna read all these books or I'm getting rid of them. And I got rid of them. I think I got rid of all but a couple, and then I did end up rereading those and then getting rid of them. It's amazing. I feel like I have less on my invisible to-do list on my brain now that I've done that. As a book collector too, I know how hard his choices were. I'm going to say he may have gotten around 245-ish and kept 700-ish. You got rid of what? It was around 200 something.
Yeah, I think it ended up close to 300.
Okay. And then how many did you keep? Do you remember?
I think it's 4 figures. I think
Yeah,
it's 1,000.
it's more than 1,000. As an avid reader and former book hoarder myself, I loved this video, yay. I appreciate how real these videos are, like you're showing the dust and clutter on the shelves. I feel like a lot of decluttering videos are pre-curated to look perfect for the video. I moved house several times, with the most recent being a 600-mile move to a different state. With the last move, 6 months prior, I took all the books I had yet to read and told myself, okay, if you don't read these by the time you move, you never will, and you have to get rid of them, and I did. Heck yeah. That was a high five. I wasn't hitting you. I've curated my collection from 2 huge bookcases down to 2 shelves. I'm looking to downsize even more soon, I think. I know Kindle books aren't the same, but what I did was buy my favorite books on Kindle. That way I still have my favorites, but I don't have the physical copy weighing me down. Love this series. Perfect. I love hearing that so much.
There's like 8 comments on the DVD.
All right,
that's easy.
Okay, all right, so they're short. They're short, okay, fine.
Yeah,
so
people still keeping DVDs.
This is the KonMari DVD Declutter. 2020, people still keeping DVDs. Why?
Get it, whatever. I only have a couple of VHS tapes left.
I actually have a small handful of DVDs, and my reason for keeping some of them, like the Buffy ones, is because of the special features. Although then my minimalist brain is now arguing, but when was the last time you actually watched Buffy on those DVDs and looked at the special features? Not at all. If I've watched Buffy, I've watched it on Hulu. But it's my favorites, with the worry that someday they will not be available for streaming, and then I'd have to buy them digitally, which maybe I would, but right now I wouldn't be able to afford that.
I actually have it all digitally.
Amazing job. We also got rid of almost all VHSs recently. It feels so good. Are you planning on doing the kids' rooms as well? Does their mom get inspired as well when she sees the progress Tyler's making?
Abby did get inspired, and has made a lot of progress, but it kind of ebbs and flows, and the kids are tough. Trying to declutter a neurodivergent kid's room actually is really, really tough, and that might be an interesting video to make. It feels like a personal attack on him.
Yeah.
He feels like he's a bad person for having clutter, or because he's attached to this thing. So
there was that you recounted to me that he just out of the blue said he wanted to declutter.
yes, and then we did. We did get rid of some things.
Yeah.
And then some of those things which sat in a pile for like 12 hours because I just didn't go down and throw it away.
Oh, so that he found some of them back.
Yeah,
that's fine. But even just expressing, Tyler told me, "Oh, Henry said, Dad, I want to declutter." Just totally unprovoked. Which the family was inspired, and I really feel like if we were to do it again, maybe.
Yeah, I think Margaret would definitely get more involved.
I would love to do. I think Margaret would be really into it, especially if we made the video all about her. She loves. She loves being on YouTube so much.
Her first tattoo is going to be like and subscribe.
Oh my god. Yeah, she would love to have a video dedicated to decluttering her room, and their kids, we would be so gentle and let them take the lead, of course. But yeah, so I think they answered that question. Would like to have heard what the criteria was for what should stay and what would go. That would have made the video more helpful. Thank you.
That was completely capriciousness. That was completely what stayed was movies I liked that I wanted to experience again and again. Either I didn't own digitally, or again, I like the special features. I think that is an unheralded point. Or I just had a more emotional attachment to it. Like, honestly, the box for Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, has incredible emotional resonance for me. That movie was really important to me when I was younger. And so some of those things, like The Godfather, those two Godfather movies plus the Frisbee that it comes with it that says Godfather 3, but that was never made. That has a lot of emotional resonance for me. Yeah.
Which makes it, KonMari would actually consider that not in the DVD category. She would then put that in the so if you run into this where suddenly you come across something as innocuous as a DVD, but it is making you feel really emotional about getting rid of it, I would then put it to the side and wait until you get to the sentimental items step, which we never did.
Yeah, I know, because life got in the way.
Yeah, we never did the sentimental items.
The biggest thing.
So yes.
Especially for me.
That was the criteria. It's emotionality, special features.
Playability. Do I have it on digital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to end.
Okay.
So if you guys like this, give it a thumbs up. And remember, if it gets to 10,000 likes.
And 10,000 views.
Well, I think that would have to happen.
I don't think maybe people got multiple accounts. I don't know.
But then they'd have to view it. Would get
whatever.
Okay.
It's like the Arizona recount.
Oh my god. So we would do a full tell-all, sit-down of everything, which would be interesting. But I mean, it's like a soap opera.
A little bit. By the way, the thumbnail for Kitchen KonMari Declutter, I look far more depressed than I actually was. I think I was just exhaling, and you just happened to catch that at the perfect moment.
It was the clearest, and the best lighting.
Yeah.
Picking thumbnails is an art form, and I am still very much an amateur.
I don't know, you crying about your bathroom declutter.
That was emotional.
That got some views, man. If I was crying about my bathroom declutter, we would have more than 1,000 views.
So, in another video, we would then respond to the comments from the paper declutter, the kitchen declutter, and the bathroom declutter. Okay, so, I'm fine. Oh, I donated blood today, and then Tyler, so I wanted to take off the wrap, and it was had not quite been 4 hours, but very close to 4 hours. But I was still kind of shaky about taking it off because it kind of skeeves me out. So I was taking it off slowly. I said, Tyler, I just need your emotional support.
And she was being a giant wuss about this.
But then he's like, oh, do you want me to do it? I said, no, I'll do it. But then he rips it off. He rips it off. He's like, it's like a Band-Aid. No, it is not like taking off a Band-Aid. Also, who does that 2. I don't rip off Band-Aids.
I do.
It's because you were born in the 80s and Band-Aids were not as good
Wow.
as they are now.
Wow. Okay. So just because I'm a geriatric millennial, which is apparently a thing now.
Oh my god. Anyway, point being, it unclotted it, or it pulled out the clot and it started bleeding again.
And she got a little dizzy.
It made me not,
Little woozy.
This is not a good time. It's not a good time. But now we've learned. I knew. I say we.
I'm sorry, some of us are old and forgetful.
You are forgetful.
Yes, I am.
I feel like.
Who are you again?
So I feel like I've said this 8,000 times. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. I'm doing a myriad of topics on my channel right now, kind of going through my recovery updates with you, doing food challenges. There's, of course, always going to be minimalism content sprinkled through there. And
it's funny you're not minimal with your minimalism.
And I'm going to be doing some productivity videos too, coming up for you. So yeah, subscribe if you're into any of that. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. He'll see you at some point too. Probably not in the next video, but yeah.